It's the Ford Show! Ford Motor Company of Australia presents the Ford Show Orchestra led by Bob Gibson with Nola Lester, Darrell Stewart, Johnny O'Connor and the Consoleers, while the man at the wheel is yours truly, Guy Dolman. By special arrangement with David N. Martin in Tivoli Theatres, our guest this week is the world-famous recording star, Mel Torme. Tonight, the accent's on rhythm, and the Consoleers set the tempo with that bright and boastful little old number, My Baby Just Cares for Me.
My baby don't care for clothes. My baby don't care for shows. My baby just cares for me. My baby don't care for silks and laces. My baby don't care for high-tone places. My baby don't care for rings and other expensive things. He's sensible as can be. My baby don't care who knows it. My baby just cares for me. Care for rings and other expensive things. He's sensible as can be. My baby don't care who knows it. My baby just cares for me.
When you buy a car or truck, you buy with two basic requirements. You want a vehicle that suits you and suits your pocket. That's why Ford-built vehicles top the lists in popularity. They're designed right, priced right, and right on the job. It doesn't matter whether you want a 10-horsepower economy car, a luxurious V8, a nimble utility, or a husky 5-ton truck. Ford builds them all and builds them better. There's a Ford-built car, commercial truck, or tractor for every purpose and every pocket. See your friendly Ford dealer and choose the Ford that fits your future. What was the year? This was the year that the Prince of Wales toured America, and while thousands of New Yorkers showered the Royal Progress with ticker tape and torn-up telephone books, the American Davis Cup team was busy defeating Australia 5-0 in the Davis Cup finale. On this side of the globe, thousands of people cheered themselves hoarse as Backwood won the Melbourne Cup of this particular year. The big sensation, however, was the Caulfield Cup, won by Purser. But subsequently, Purser was disqualified. On the hit parade of this year, the big song was Tea for Two. And as Nola Lester and Johnny O'Connor remind you of this old favorite, see if you can remember the year.
Picture me upon your knee with tea for two and two for tea. It's me for you and you for me alone.
Nobody near us to see or to hear us, no friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known that we own a telephone, dear.
Day will break I'll awake and start to bake a sugar cake for you to take, for all the boys to see.
We will raise a family, a boy for me
And a girl for me.
Can't you see how happy we will be? Day will break and you'll awake and start to bake a sugar cake for me to take, for all the boys to see. We will raise a family,
A girl for me.
and a boy for me. Can't you see how happy we will be?
What was the year? 1924. Tonight we present another song selected by our judges to compete in Heat 1 of the £500 Ford Award 1955-56 series. Ford Australia established the Ford Award to encourage our own Australian composers. And in addition to competing for the big cash prizes, the winning songs will be published by Southern Music and recorded by Columbia. Every Ford Award entry must be accompanied by an entry form. Entry forms are available if you call at your nearby Ford dealer or at this station. Send in your entry as soon as possible for the new Ford Award series. A Ford Award Song of the Week entitled Love by the Light of the Moon was composed by Solomon Burley of Bellevue Hill, New South Wales, with lyrics by Julia Crawford. Here is Nola Lester to sing your song.
Do you know why you're in the boom? Why my little old heart goes zoom? You're best at confessing, best at expressing love by the light of the moon. If you're meaning to ask a boon, then I'm meaning to grant it soon. That's why I'm revealing, no use concealing, love by the light of the moon. Now no one has it both ways. Do note that I don't disagree. Won't ask my ma and pa. Everything's up to me. Let's rehearse that old wedding tune and rehearse for a wedding soon. The sages foretell it's gonna end well. It's love by the light of the moon. the sages foretell. It's gonna end well, it's love by the light of the moon.
Thank you, Julia Crawford and Solomon Burley of Sydney, New South Wales, for your Ford Award entry entitled Love by the Light of the Moon. You know, it's hard to move a mile anywhere in Australia without meeting a Ford-built vehicle with a life history of trustworthy, hard-working service to its owner. Ford-built cars, commercials, trucks, and utilities are a good investment because they're better built. The same applies on the land. There are tens of thousands of Fords and Majors farming Australia, producing wealth for the nation at a low cost. Fords and Major tractors are popular because they're versatile, dependable, and are ready for work without the addition of costly extras. Yes, there's a big range of Ford vehicles, and your friendly Ford dealer is the man who can prove by test drive and value check that Ford built is right in design, right in price, and right for you. By popular request, Bob Gibson and the Ford Show Orchestra present again their special arrangement of that haunting melody describing the unattainable ideal, Laura, a dream. I met a lady in the meads, full, beautiful, a fairy's child. Her hair was long, her foot was light, her eyes were wild, and there she lulled me asleep, and there I dreamed. Ah, woe betide the latest dream I ever dreamed on the cold hillside. And now, by special arrangement with David M. Martin, we introduce the star of the Tivoli production, Hot from Hollywood. The man with the voice described as the Velvet Fog. You've heard his records many times, but tonight the Ford Show presents in person, direct from America, Mr. Mel Torme.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening to everybody here in Australia. Very, very nice to be singing for you and talking to you tonight, and particularly on this wonderful Ford show. Incidentally, it's a particular thrill for me, friends, to be on the same stage, the same rostrum with the wonderful Bob Gibson and his orchestra. I've heard so much about the band from many of my compatriots back in the States. People like Billy Daniels and Nat King Cole have simply raved about this wonderful Bob Gibson orchestra, and everything they said is true. So we'd like to kind of get right into the proceedings, vocally speaking, by starting out with a wonderful song that was written by my good friend Mr. Walter Gross back in the States. I'm joined by the Consoleers, and here is the lovely ballad, Tenderly.
Trembling trees embraced the breeze tenderly. Then you and I came wandering by, and lost in a sigh were we. By sea and mist tenderly. I can't forget how two hearts met breathlessly. Your arms open wide and took my love so tenderly. By sea and mist tenderly. I can't forget how two hearts met breathlessly. Your arms open wide and my love so tenderly, so very tenderly.
Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You know, invariably, whenever I do disc jockey shows, either here in Australia or back in the United States, the disc jockeys invariably ask me what my favorite song is. And of course, that's very difficult to answer because there are so many wonderful songs written through the years. But I think that if I had to be stranded on a desert island with just one song, I would certainly pick this one. It was written by Mr. Jerome Kern for a show called Very Warm for May. And if I may, I'd like to sing the very lovely arrangement that's been done by Bob Gibson and the boys on All the Things You Are. Kiss of springtime that makes the lonely winter seem long. You are the breathless hush of evening that trembles on the brink of a lovely song. You're the angel glow that lights a star, the dearest things I know are what you are. Someday my happy arms will hold you, and someday I'll know that moment divine when all the things you are mine. Lights a star, the dearest things I know are what you are. Someday my happy arms will hold you, and someday I'll know that moment divine when all the things you are Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Here's another tune that I think you'll get a kick out of hearing again. I certainly do. So much so that about a year and a half ago, I had the pleasure of making a record of this particular Irving Berlin tune on the choral label. We'd like very much to do this arrangement for you, which incidentally is pretty similar to the one that I did on the record. Here's Bob Gibson and the Boys and Blue Skies. Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. Well, I never saw the sun shining so bright, and I never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, my, how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Saw the sun shining so bright, I never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, they fly. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Nothing but blue skies from now on.
And it's thank you from the Ford Show to American recording star Mel Torme. This week, the Ford Show featured as guest American singing star Mel Torme, Nolan Lester, Darrell Stewart, Johnny O'Connor, the Consolators, the Ford Show Orchestra led by Bob Gibson, and your master of ceremonies, Guy Dolman. The Ford Show is produced and directed by Darcy Fitzgerald. David Lowe speaking. A reminder too, David, that the Ford Show will be back again at the same time next week, presented by Ford Motor Company of Australia. The Ford Show is broadcast over an Australia-wide network to our armed forces in the Far East, through the British Commonwealth Forces Network, and on shortwave through Radio Australia. Until the same time next week, it's good night from F-O-R-D. And remember, wherever you go, wherever you are, watch the Fords go by.